Greetings and welcome to SmartWatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. This is awkward today. Normally, as you've seen, the videos I put on are timeless. They don't talk about current events or anything related to the now because they're about time and watches. And you might be watching this, I don't know, 2022? For your information, it's the very end of January 2020, and there's been an outbreak of a coronavirus, primarily in China, that has got things shifting around, which is why I'm talking about it right now. What you're watching is the boot up of the latest watches that are on the market, and I just got an email from the folks I work with at one of our major supplier companies saying that they were notified that their factories, their distribution centers are all shut down by the government until around February 10th. That's the latest. Again, depends on when you're watching this. It's old news. I know that, but we don't know what's happening. As of today, about 7,000 cases of the virus have broken out in China, and they're locking down. So, I'm going to switch gears on you and do some stuff that's not involving buying watches, but giving you some information. One of our viewers has been persistent on asking about video, and they really want to know, with these advanced watches, can you set the darn thing up, run a video, and just go until the battery dies from starting at 100%? Well, that's a curious question. I try to think of scenarios where you might want to do that, and I came up with one. Yeah, you want to videotape yourself sleeping to see if you have sleep apnea, right? If you're on your back and you snore yourself awake. Or you've got the Spovian blade on your arm that has the built-in sleep apnea trigger that will vibrate the watch if your blood oxygen drops too low and wake you up. Anyway, it'd be kind of cool to catch that on video, wouldn't it? Uh-oh. Here you go. Breaking news, it just happened. The World Health Organization has now declared the virus outbreak an international emergency. Right now. That's where we are in time. I have no idea where the future is going. So, what I have is the brand new Genesis with the forward-facing camera, fully charged, and I have the Cospet Prime. What do you mean it says all call on there? This isn't Cospet. You're right. But a review is coming on this 100% identical Cospet Prime. 3 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, everything else the same. So I'm going to use this one instead of the Prime, and I'm going to use the side-facing camera. So I got a setup where I'm going to point this forward or sideways and this forward and aim at the same thing and just start the video and run it and see what happens. So what am I going to take a video of? I'm going to go in this box and show you a nightlight. Yeah, Uncle Tix is so into clocks that in the bathroom I have a clock that's backlit, for night, so I know what time it is. This is a brand new one. I got to pull this thing out to start the battery, and once I have everything set up, I will do that. It's at the atomic countdown clock of how much time is left for planet Earth, and as you can see, it's moved from 100 seconds to 2 seconds. I think it just moved to 1 second, but anyway, we're going to plug this thing in, start it up, start both of these in video pointed at the clock, and I'm going to let them go until they die. Now, one of two things is going to happen. They're going to capture that recording and save it in its last breath before the power goes out completely, or it's going to die and the recording will be lost. That's kind of important to know too, right? Along with how long it's going to take. So, that project will be going on. In the meantime, there's a whole new watch on the market. People have been begging for an always-on display. I mean, always on. No questions asked. And a really large screen. So, I was in an antique store. and I found this, and I said, I have got to have that, because you guys have to see that a long, long time ago, we had the answer. We had it solved. Here you go. There is a clock in here. Runs on a battery. Hey, long life battery. It's ticking. Screen is always on. Display is large. And it's 5G. Yep. Comes in at 5 grams. Gotcha. The other side is a fake compass, just like what we find on some of the watches. It would be really cool if there was a real compass in there, but nonetheless, here you go. It's got a little flat spot here. You can set it down, use it as a little table watch. No, I don't have a source for you to buy this because it's from out of the past. But just to show you how time has really evolved, and maybe, just maybe, there's some lessons here that could be implemented, not quite as drastic as this, but to help make a small, difficult to read screen a little bit easier. All right, on with the test. I will see you when I'm back, which will be instantly for you. We'll give you the answer to what's going on with the video. Whoa, check this out. You know, when you're into watches, you're into tinkering, and the back section where the compass was, I could pull the little piece of paper out of here, and I've got, whoa, a magnifying glass. I mean, this is ideal. Perfect. Especially for what I'm about to show you, because I do have the results from the video testing. First of all, let me show you how I set it up. Come in here, come in here, come in here, come over here. And here's the first one. I have the volume up. I talk really loud. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. So it's not going to sound as loud, but it's plenty loud to hear in the room. Here's the setup.
Well, here we go, everybody. Here's the clock. Here's the tab. Here's the time, right at midnight or noon. I'm going to pull the tab. That should activate the second hand. Plug it in, that'll give us a backlight. Recheck the alignment of the cameras. And we are on about 30.
Okay, that's the Genesis. Here we are with the all call and doing the same thing. Oh, camera here. Go back into the setup. Now I want you to notice on this one, the picture is sideways. It's still taken vertically like that one is, but for some reason it rotates it sideways, but not landscape shot. It's still in kind of a portrait perspective. Start over. And here's the audio on this one.
Well, here we go, everybody. Here's the clock. Here's the tab. Here's the time, right at midnight or noon. I'm going to pull the tab. That should activate the second hand. Plug it in. That'll give us a backlight. Recheck the alignment of the cameras.
Okay, that is the foundation. Now the results. While I'm putting this video together, I got an email picture from our pilot, Jason, the creator of the Genesis, in his day job over in Shenzhen, China. He's still working. He's quite a guy. In fact, Pablo 11 and I decided to promote him to Mr. Kronos. So if I don't refer to him as Jason in the future, but Mr. Kronos from Mr. Tix, well, you'll know what happened. He's earned the title, Mr. Time. All right, the results. Here we go. Got a couple of things to go over first for you. The KronosBlade Genesis charger dock that you saw. This is how long it takes for the lights to go out when you put the watch in it to start charging. So from a fully charged charger, the time I started was at 1:45 in the afternoon, and the lapse time was 0, of course. When it went from 4 lights to 3 lights was only 8 minutes later, dropped to 2 lights 17 minutes later, and 1 light 26 minutes later. That 1 light started flashing 55 minutes later, and the whole thing was out of power 58 minutes later. So just 2 minutes short of an hour. During that time, the watch was completely off, and was completely out of juice. So I turned it on and checked it, and that charge took it to 67%. So 60% in an hour is a rough estimate of how long it's going to take to boost it, and about how much you're going to get. Two-thirds charge. All right, here's our video recording tests. First time, I'm not sure what's going on, but I got some things to tell you. First of all, when you put it in record, the best you're going to get is an hour and 2 minutes and 42 seconds, because I got repeat on the KronosBlade Prime equivalent. Each segment lasted about an hour. And I got that here too. I didn't put all the seconds and stuff on this one. But for some crazy reason, the first take and the second one, they didn't last that long. 28, 39 minutes, 13 minutes, so forth. I think I was not set up right. I'd have to do the whole thing over again, which I may sometime. But the one that really went long went for 61 minutes. I went out to lunch, and that's why there's like an almost 2 hour, 53 minute spacing between these. So I don't, the actual time on the clocks, if we watched it, does not match the recording length. Just simply, I just couldn't be around for the whole thing. But all in all, it looks like you can get 2 hours and 35 minutes roughly on a watch recording, but you have to restart it every hour. You can't just set it up, walk away, and expect it to go. It could go anytime it wants to, but no more than a little over an hour. Whew, all right. That, I think, is all I'm going to cover today. Just wishes and thoughts out to China and the whole world for this process we're all dealing with right now. Don't be too hard on China if your order isn't processed right away. The latest information I'm getting is that if you want to buy one of these watches, any of the ones we review here, and the shipping source is not China, then they're good to go. The warehouses in Hong Kong are working, in the US is working, in Europe is working. If you're ordering through Banggood or GearBest or Geek Buying or one of those places, maybe even AliExpress, and your order is coming out of a different place than China, then you're good to go. Otherwise, the latest update is they'll start shipping February 10th. And again, Mr. Kronos is setting things up with the factory to manufacture his watch, and that'll be beginning as soon as they can get everything together in China. So we gave you like a 45 to 60 day window. We'll see how that goes and keep you updated. In the meantime, he's there, and he's got his website up, and he's taking in your pre-orders right now. So you can continue moving forward. If you think you want to get one of the brand new Genesis watches with the front-facing camera, I highly recommend you go ahead and get yours pre-ordered for $150, complete package. We got the full review up on it, and that one will definitely be moving forward as fast as possible with Mr. Kronos right there in Shenzhen working the whole process on our behalf. All right, you've been watching Smartwatch Tics. I really appreciate your subscription, and please take a look at the full review video of the Genesis, because I think you'll be impressed that this may be one of the best watches on the market. Likewise, the KronosBlade Prime, with its side-facing camera and all the features it has going, is a great option as well. And yes, indeed, we will be doing a comparison of the two watches together on this channel in the future. Have you subscribed? All right, thank you. We'll see you again soon.